This is going to be a video about doing the vehicle inspections for motorcycles in Japan. I just recently did mine, and I figured after looking at all this paperwork and stuff, I figured some people might want to have some sort of guide. There are actually a few guides out there you can get, some blogs and stuff that talk about it. But I just figured I'd try to do it. This is the most updated one, maybe, 2016 in February. There are 5 steps basically you need to go through. The first one is you will have to get receipts that you have and also your vehicle registration. So this is your vehicle registration. Actually, the first thing you need to do is go to the Yobi-shaken site. You can just type it in Japanese there like it is on the screen, or you can just go to this URL. When you go there, you'll see this list of things to get. The first thing you need is your vehicle inspection form, your receipt for that, the actual registration form. And the second thing you'll need is proof of insurance. This is the actual form as well. The last one is the tax receipt for that, just to show that you paid your taxes. Okay. So the next step, step 2, is about the bike prep. But before I talk about that, I just want to quickly say that this is not covering customized bikes. So if you wanted to, make your bike prettier or, change the pipes on it or something, that's something you have to check on your own to see if it will pass the shaken. So something you should be diligent about. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to check your brake lights. Brake lights are important, front and rear brake. And you also want to check your blinkers. And then also no slip marks on your tires. Make sure your chain is not too floppy or whatever. The hardest part is the headlight. Now I went to what's called the Yobi-shaken maybe a few days before the test just because I wanted to check my headlight. They'll actually test your headlight to make sure it's pointing in the correct direction. This is the place I went to here in Fukuoka. There's one of these test centers almost near every inspection site. So just look it up in your area. Just look up Yobi-shaken. You can also buy your insurance there. If you buy your insurance, it'll only cost 1,500 yen. I did not buy my insurance there, so it cost me 2,000 yen. So after I'm finished here, my bike was all set, ready to go. So the next thing is the reservation. So you have to make the reservation online. So first thing you do is you can go right to this automatic reservation system that they have here. You can also go to the map on the site and just choose the area of Japan you live in. They'll give you the closest one with directions, and then you can just hit the button in the middle there that says where to get the reservation. Then after that, you want to log in or start. You have to make a new account. The first one there is login, and the one below that to register to make a new account. So if you have an account and once you've made your account, you choose where you are living, and they'll basically tell you the closest inspection site. So you also want to click Keizoku, which means to continue, means you're just continuing the registration. And you also want to check off motorcycle here at the bottom. So those are 2 things that are important to check. Then a time chart comes up. You just want to choose a time. And then after that, they'll give you a reservation number. Please write that down. The next step is to go to the paperwork at the inspection site. So you can actually pay them to do it. I think it costs like 1,500 yen. So only 1,500 yen. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to this window here, which is the Shinseisho window. You go there and you buy this paperwork here. It comes in a pack and they charge you 50 yen for that. But you can have them fill this out for you. But before you do that, you have to go to the tax window, pay your taxes and get the stamps that you paid. And then you stick them on the appropriate forms that you just bought. You just bought the pack of forms that were 50 yen. You stick them here. So the first group of stamps, 400 yen and 1,300 yen, go on this form. And then the second group of stamps goes on the pink form, and that's 3,800 yen's worth. And that's all just one receipt. And then you pay for your insurance, which was in that window next to it. All the windows are usually together, so it's very easy to do. And the receipt is right on there, so you know how much you spent. Something you might want to do is to put all this paperwork, because there's so much, is to put it in a folder with some pockets in it. You do have a lot of paperwork and receipts and stuff, so you might want to keep track of it. At the Fukuoka site, you go into the building next to the original building that you were just in. And before you do that, you might want to check your odometer. Just take a picture of it because you have to fill that in some spots. When you go into the building to pass in your paperwork, there should be samples of each form you just bought in the 50 yen pack. And those samples will tell you exactly how to fill it out. Now, the first sample here, the most important sample, is the one that is it has the labels 1, 2, 3, and 4 on it. This is your registration form you brought with you on that day. And this will tell you, they tell you to put number 1 in this spot, number 2 in this spot. So it's fairly easy to follow. It's not so hard, but you can also pay someone to do it. Then after you're done, you give it to this fellow here. He checks it out. Once he checks it out, you're off to the next step, which is the test. So this is me driving up to the test. You just want to You might want to observe a couple of things before you go in, but I just go right in there. And when I parked my bike, I walked right in and I told the guy in the back there, one of the workers there, that this is my first time doing the test. So this is the part where you might need Japanese skills. Now I don't know if you can bring somebody with you. I never thought of that, but you might need some Japanese skills here because he's going to be basically telling you everything in Japanese. It's not so difficult, the Japanese, and I didn't get it on the actual recorder because for some stupid reason I shut my microphone off. So the first part here is you put your front tire and they test the speedometer, and that just spins by itself. There's a little plate on the ground that you push, and then after you push it, the tire will spin. While the tire spins, they tell you to release the lever there. So actually you'll see the whole process here. You'll see me put my bike in neutral, and he tells me to put my foot on the lever there. So I just put my foot on the lever. This is basically the same process several times. Okay, you'll see my rear wheel start to move there. So when my speedometer gets to 40 kilometers per hour, you release the switch. And then it told me that I passed. My speedometer passed. So right now, you can't see it now, but my wheels are both spinning. The wheels are spinning, and they tell me to put the front and the rear brake on at the same time. It'll say, hit your brakes. And it says right here, hit your brakes. And then it will tell you if your brakes pass. Then after your brakes pass, it's a very slow process, but this is actually the easiest part because he talks you through it. It's really not that hard. So the next one is the reason why we went to the Yobi-shaken was to have the headlight checked. This is one of those things that if it's an older bike especially, the light will start to sag or point down or point up or point to the right or point to the left. So they'll adjust that for you, make sure it's right down the center. And they do a good job. They put it right in the center, so it's not going to fail. About 8 other bikes were doing their test this day. I think I only saw 2 pass this test. The other ones all had to readjust their light. So I passed, which was expected. So after I finish this part, he tells me to pull up. The next part is when they just check your muffler. So he has me put in this long, I don't know, it's like a metal prod, has me put it into the muffler. And he puts my paperwork into the machines there.
And then they check my bike for emissions. Sound is only checked if they think it sounds too loud. That's it. So my bike doesn't sound too loud, so it's all right.
He tells me to pull right up, and he wants me to wait for him. So he goes around the bike and he taps the bike to make sure there's no rusty parts or any shaky parts. That's something that they do. And also he checks the length and the width of the bike and the height of the handlebars. And then after that, you're done. I wheeled my bike out. That's a choice. You can ride it out probably. You just don't want to ride it out too fast. Dale came out to help me today, shoot some video. So after that, I passed in my proper paperwork that I got with the stamp on it, and they give me my new sticker. I put that right on the bike. And something you want to do is make a note of when your registration runs out. I did not make a note, and mine ran out 3 days before I took my test. Just a couple of things to know. If your vehicle registration does run out, it can be pretty serious if you get caught. Police don't usually stop you, but if you do get caught, if you don't have the correct inspection sticker, it's a 300,000 yen fine. Also 6 points on your license. And if you don't have insurance, means the inspection had run out over a month ago, you get another 6 points on your license. You get your license taken away, plus 500,000 yen. So that's 500,000 yen plus 300,000 yen. That's 800,000 yen. That's just way too much money. It's not worth the risk. If it's just your inspection sticker only, you can go to your local kuyakusho or your local city hall or ward office and get what's called a kari number, which is that plate with the red line. You'll need a couple of things. You'll need your license. You'll need a stamp or your incon, or you could probably sign it. I don't know. I didn't ask. If you've been here a long time, you probably have a stamp. So the next thing you need is you also need your insurance as well, because they want to make sure it didn't run out. It says there that it'll still be okay a month after the inspection runs out. So you also need your insurance form as well, just to show that you have insurance. And then it's going to cost you 750 yen. So you go to the local ward office, and when you walk in there, there's an information booth right at the beginning. Just ask, where can you get a kari number? You do have some paperwork to fill out, but basically it's just address. But you will need to know your own address, where you're going to be taking the bike from, to the inspection center's name, like which inspection center is it? Like in my case, it's the Higashiku Chihaya Inspection Center. So you want to make sure you get the name of it. So you wait for a few minutes, they call your name. After they do that, you get your number, you stick it on your bike. And this one thing you do want to make a note of, they give you a slip of paper. This paper is really important. You want to make sure you don't lose it. If you lose it, you have to go and report it to the police. They said the woman there said it's just a... Anyways, just don't lose it. She was very adamant about that. After you do the test, I just went straight to the ward office again, and I passed it off to them. It was very simple to do. No paperwork, just pass it to them, and they say it's okay. Well, that's just about it. So good luck, everybody, and thanks for watching, and ride safe.